Microphone check 1 2 1 2. DJ iSizzle, your DJ's favorite DJ. Hey, how we doing today? Continuing the series of verses, we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook versus YouTube advertising and what I've found, the results I've had, and what I recommend it to you to get potential clients or just build your brand name. So let's get right into it. I have been advertising on Facebook for probably about 6-7 years. YouTube probably close to about the same. Although I will say that Facebook advertising in its initial starting was a lot better and far superior to YouTube advertising. YouTube advertising was good, but it's not as good as it is now. Like in the last year or so, it's really gotten a lot more effective. Targeting, all that stuff, like it's more easier to use than it used to be. It used to be a little more difficult to use, but now they've made it more user friendly, so almost anybody can, maybe doesn't know it, can sign up and advertise whatever they need to. So as far as results go, I guess if you're trying to get views and that's important to you on YouTube, which I know YouTube initially when it started, it was all about views and wow, look how many views this video has and it must be really good. But now that it's so overly saturated and it's like 10, 12, 13 years from when YouTube actually started, I don't know if views matter as much as your content and the quality of it. You see a song, we've already hit over billions now, So how would you as an artist get up to 1 million views? Well, you're going to have to spend a bunch of money on advertising to get those views. The nice thing about YouTube is they will give you the views, but they don't necessarily give you the watch time. And the watch time is the most important because that's what's going to catapult your video into other people's feeds, other people's home pages. So advertising is cool, but I don't know if people are going to watch the full video and what are you going to get back for it? You'll probably get some views, but it's going to cost you a whole bunch of money. So it's not inexpensive to do YouTube advertising. I think I did something like I was able to get 50,000 views, and I think it equaled out to like $500. And that's on a weekend. Can I say that my numbers have gone up on my YouTube channels? No. The numbers went up on that video when I paid for it. Sometimes you'll get lucky with a video, but for the most part, like advertising will just give you your initial views. So what I would recommend with like YouTube advertising is like, if a video is already hot and it's already going, then put advertising money behind it. But if it's not, then don't even try to push the video with money because you'll just get the views, but after you pay for the views, it's just going to die and the video is just going to sit there. So my recommendation, like I said, is just make sure that if you promote a video, just make sure it's a video that's already moving, something that's already doing views. Trying to push a video is, I don't know, it's very stubborn. It's a stubborn situation. So you can definitely try, you can definitely throw money at it, but yeah, unless it's moving, don't even bother with it. Maybe the initial release you could try, and I found after about 3 weeks, people really lose interest in anything that's new, especially in music and movies, TV shows, all that stuff. Like, it's just hard to get people to continually come back unless it's something that's self-interest, educational, or they just really like your song and they want to listen to it over and over again. As far as Facebook goes, I've run so many campaigns on Facebook. I think it's kind of the same strategy. If it's not moving, don't promote it. If people don't like it, then what's the point? I've done different campaigns on Facebook, like come like my page. Maybe 5 likes in like 2 weeks. Just maybe it was the content like that I was trying to share just wasn't good. No one was liking it. So if you have a post that's effective already, then I would recommend boosting that post over anything else. The post that's already working, it'll probably work in a more general sense. Also with your targeting, if you target the world or if you target all of the US or wherever your location is, like if it's a broader targeting, then you'll get more views and you'll get more people looking at it. It doesn't necessarily mean these are the people that you want looking at it, but you will get better numbers. And this is kind of the same thing again. It's like I haven't really seen return people from advertising. So advertising makes you feel good in the sense that it's going to get some sort of traction and people are going to see it. But you are going to pay for it. Facebook advertising is a little bit less than YouTube. I would say the key to Facebook advertising is not to have something that looks like an ad, because we're throwing ads like continually. Like I went to the movie theater the other night and it was 10 minutes of commercials, 10 minutes of trailers, cut to another 10 minutes of commercials, cut to another 10 minutes of trailers. So our minds after a while we just turn off advertisements. We see advertisements, our ears go off. We're just good with it. But if it looks like somebody is actually talking to us and stuff, and it actually looks like a sincere person, then we'll probably pay attention a little bit more than just another advertisement trying to sell us something that we don't need or we don't even care about. So that's the best thing I would say with Facebook. Even YouTube, simplifying your advertising and not necessarily making like some high-end commercial, but just somebody just you talking to the actual potential client you're trying to get with your advertising is not a bad idea. Spend more money on actually getting the ad out to people, but as simple as that is, I mean, it's effective. I would probably listen to somebody just sitting there talking to me versus $1 million ad from the Super Bowl. Yeah, maybe creative, but it's right over my head unless I connect with it. So I don't know, something to think about. All in all, I mean, you got to look at your budget. The more money you pay in a short amount of time, the more views you'll get really fast. So say your budget is $1,000, you'll probably do really well in a weekend. After that, maybe. Also, just having a product that is already selling is another good thing. Trying to push a brand new product is really hard because you haven't beta tested it yet. You don't know if people really want it. These are just little things you got to think about. So as far as like ranking it, I would say, I'd probably put Facebook number 1 and then I put YouTube number 2. YouTube's good, but if you're looking for views, you'll get them. If you're looking for people that are going to become like true loyal followers, subscribers, I don't know if advertising on YouTube is good. It's okay. As far as Facebook goes, I have had some luck in people returning, but for the most part, I'll get some negative comments on some of the videos I post and share and try to promote, which is discouraging. People, they'll be like, "Ooh, I don't like this at all," or they'll just start hating on it, and then you're paying all this money for people to hate on it. YouTube a couple years ago, they had the dislike button. You throw an ad up there, and all of a sudden you get a bunch of dislikes and a bunch of negative comments, and you're paying all this money. And it's just like, man, how discouraging is this, So something to think about as well. I would say Facebook is probably the best for advertising your brand if you want to get more personal. I've done some Instagram as well. We're going to add that one on there as well because it's part of Facebook. I like Instagram. I like their advertising. I haven't really messed with it too much. I have seen some pretty good results with it though. So I think maybe in the future I'll probably go more Instagram advertising than I would Facebook or YouTube. Facebook's cool, but I don't know. The results are still to be seen. Like, you pay a bunch of money, and what are your results? Did you just go burn $1,000 and get nothing in return? Hard to say. I will say that advertising is a lot easier than it used to be on all platforms, probably because that's how they make their money. I would probably go Instagram from here on out with advertising versus Facebook or YouTube. YouTube's cool if you want the numbers, but that's all they really give you. So, it's kind of a downer, kind of a downer moment. But yeah, I think that's it for today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Subscribe, don't subscribe, like, if you want to, share if you want to. I don't know, it's up to you. All right, well, once again, thank you again for stopping by. This is DJ iSizzle, and I will see you next time.